and welcome to a brand new episode of Go Ballistic here on the Scottish SunSport YouTube channel. I'm Jonathon Moar. You can see Roger Hanna is back this week, and I like to say we're joined by apparently Hearts #1 fan, Kris Boyd. Disappointed to see you've not got your new top on, Boydie, today.
No, I might bring it back out at the end of the season. Listen, let's not get carried away with this, because there's a lot of people out there can't take a joke anymore, I must say. There's a lot of people out there that really struggle to have a laugh, especially at this time of year. Just have a laugh, have a joke. But I tell you what's very, very good this morning, to see Roger back after his week's holiday.
I can take control of things, Boyd. You've lost the place completely. Last week, you were out partying with St Mirren fans till 4 a.m.
Oh,
this
that's
week,
right. I forgot about
you're
that.
cutting about the main streets of Tarbolton in a maroon top. We're now opening a book as to what team you'll be supporting when we record this next Monday. I have got my Christmas bonus saying you'll be an A United fan by next Monday.
Well, that's definitely not happening, that's for sure. There's two teams in the world that will never ever say I support. One's in East End of Glasgow and one's in South Ayrshire. However, right, let's go on with this show.
There we go. Well, I'll tell you what isn't a joke. That's Hearts title credentials. Two wins over Celtic, 2 wins over Rangers now, 2-1 at Tynecastle yesterday. You know, they've come through their own rough spell, 1 win in 6 after that first win over Celtic, answering a lot of questions. 6 clear at the top. They're going to be top at Christmas. Boydie, big favourite for the title now in your eyes?
Yeah, well, listen, I think when you've got to look at the games against the teams that they're going to be up against. Celtic have beaten them home and away. That's now Rangers been beaten home and away. They've beaten Hibs at home. They go to Easter Road at the weekend, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to. I think it'll be an excellent game. Two teams that will feel as if they can win it. But you can't help be impressed with what Derek McInnes has done, the players there. Listen, I think when you look at the front three, there has been, and rightly so, they've got a lot of credit for where Hearts are at right now, but you can't overlook the roles that the midfield and the defence and even the goalkeeper do as well. It is a complete team. When you look at the way they defend, not only that, I said it yesterday in the show, Halkett, who missed the game yesterday, and Stuart Finlay have got the exact same amount of goals as the Rangers front three of Chermiti, Miovski and Danilo. So that shows you that in terms of Hearts being a team together, they've got goals from all over the pitch. They're in a really, really good place right now. Derek McInnes, yes, he's trying to calm everything down and not get too carried away. But I think inside, even Derek will feel as if, what an opportunity we have got of doing something special here.
They keep passing on a big test, Boyd. They've been going to Glasgow twice and winning, beating the 2 Old Firm sides in Edinburgh. If they can get past Hibs, if they can win at Easter Road, suddenly the fixtures open up a little bit for them, because you know they've played Celtic again recently there when they won in Wilfred Nancy's first game. They beat Rangers the weekend. They're playing Hibs. After that, they've got a decent wee run of games as well into the new year. And
well, there you go, Roger. Livingston at home, Dundee away, St Mirren at home. Then of the cup against Falkirk. Then it's Celtic again, Dundee United, St Mirren. It's a decent run of It's a decent run of games.
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
And the crucial thing is, Roger, sorry, the next game against Celtic is at Tynecastle as well.
Yeah. And listen, you mentioned no Halkett yesterday, no Harry Milne yesterday either, suspended. Beningame was only just coming back yesterday. They've got the record signing, Agu, or however you pronounce it, to come back as well. And that's before the look at the January transfer window. I think Chesnikov, the Kazakh wingers coming in. Yep. There may well be others. Who's to say they don't fast track the Josh McPake deal in January as well? So it's looking good for them.
I think you've rounded off a few names there as well, but by doing that, what they've got is competition for places. And you know right now, you look at, and we've spoken about Rangers and Celtic, their squad depth and everything for a number of weeks now. When you look at the drop-off from maybe the starting 11 to the back, when you look at Hearts right now, Derek McInnes has built or assembled a squad there now that the ones who are starting, if they do not perform, they're going to be out the team the following week because of the competition for places, because of the quality they've got there. I mean, we speak regularly on this show. I've spoken loads of times on Sky regarding Millen, how well he's done at left back. You wouldn't even have noticed he didn't play yesterday because Kingsley just slotted in there and was excellent. Halkett has been unbelievable this season for Hearts. Usually when you've got that partnership, the other one then looks a little bit rocky if he's his neighbour's not there. That wasn't the case yesterday. Frankie Kent came in, done an excellent job. Stuart Finlay just looked as if he was, he played with Frankie Kent for all his career. The understanding they've got, and I must say, the midfield three as well, do not underestimate the amount of work they do to allow the team to function. That midfield three, I thought Magnuson was really, really good yesterday. Again, though, not someone who's going to go and nip the play and correct everything. What he does do, he just breaks up the play. He'll stop the opposition playing. He can play, but him, Devlin, McAtee in there, the driving force behind it that allows the front three to have that little bit of quality. Derek McInnes, I think, maybe he'll not come out and say it, but he will now start to believe that we've got he said it yesterday. He could, a lot of people were saying, this is going to be a test. I firmly believed that my team could beat Rangers yesterday. That's confidence. Because, you look at Rangers, and we'll probably touch them in a minute. They've been in a decent little run, not getting carried away. But, and I thought they actually started the game well yesterday. The goal was ruled out for offside, but Rangers started the game reasonably well. And maybe spooked Hearts a little bit with the start, the way they lined up. But once the team got to grips with it, there was only one team winning that game yesterday.
You've talked a lot about the quality that Hearts have available there, but when you're looking to achieve something that they're looking to achieve this season, how much does having that sheer belief in what you're doing, how big a role does that have to play alongside having that quality available?
Jonathon, do you know what the big thing for Hearts is right now? You can have all the quality under the sun. Look at Celtic. Celtic's XG is still at the same level as what it's been for a number of years now. But the big thing, and this is where Hearts have got it, they've got a number 9 that if you create opportunities for, will score goals. Even when they're not playing to the capability or to the levels that we've seen them playing, they might not be firing in all cylinders some games. They've still got someone at the top end of the pitch who can score goals. There's a reason why your number 9 is the most important player on the pitch. And in Lawrence Shankland, they're a far better team when he's in there. You only look at, and I know people will say, Jack Butler's got to do better for the goal yesterday. He will know that. But for someone to even attempt to shoot from there tells me it's natural. Tells me that his confidence is sky high. I'll shoot for anywhere because if I get it on target, there might just be an opportunity it goes in. Single-mindedness in front of goal, I want to score goals. Lawrence Shankland's got it, and the rest of his teammates respond to that.
I cannot believe you're talking about XG after all these years as an XL. Unbelievable.
XL? You're doing me a favour. Double XL.
How many times did we say in this show on a Monday? Lawrence Shankland for nothing in the summer. Yusuf Chermiti for £8 million in the summer. The Rangers missed a trick. Rangers should have signed Shankland. And now Shankland's got more chance of winning the league than Rangers have.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't know how many times we've to say it they should have signed them.
Yeah.
But the reality is, they didn't. It didn't happen. The truth is, they didn't do it. Lawrence Shankland, as you could tell yesterday, it was more or less 2 fingers up to you to say you could have had this. You look at him now, he looks as if he has matured into an all-round player. He's a good teammate, you can tell. Even yesterday when he's leaving the stadium, having a laugh and a joke, when he was walking back round with Stuart Finlay when they were collecting their awards after the game, you could just tell that they're in a good place, Hearts. They're enjoying it. But the challenge is it's a different challenge now. I mean, it was you're always under pressure, whoever you play with, to win games of football. Under Rangers and Celtic, I'd imagine Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen are the next ones where it's like they expect to win. It's no, but you look at Hearts right now, they have to thrive on this. They have to embrace the challenge. They have to enjoy it. They have to go into every game believing we're good enough. We're at the top of the table. Everybody's trying to catch us. This is the pressure that the old firm teams have faced for a number of years. Now it's over to Hearts. Can they deal with it? And I think they can. I think they can because they've got players within that dressing room that know the Scottish game. I don't think they try to be fancy in their work. We speak about like teams just defend. That's what Hearts do. I don't see, I've played with Stuart Finlay. I know exactly the type of player he is. I don't see him getting on the ball and want to drive it. Can he do it? Yes. But first and foremost, I'm going to defend. I'm going to clear my lines and I'll see where that takes us. There's an old school vibe around Tynecastle every time you go there, but also the team as well. It's like a throwback, Roger. We'll defend, we'll get it in the opposition's half, we'll score goals. And by the way, absolutely nothing wrong with it, because we speak about Motherwell, how good they've been to watch this year, but getting the ball down and playing. I think Hearts are equally as good for different reasons, because they want to defend, they want to score goals, they want to get the creative players on the pitch, and they'll go and take Braga and Casaridis, they'll take players on. They've been brilliant. They deserve to be at the top of the league. And, at the turn of the year, there's a lot of fixtures coming, but, as Roger's touched on there, Hearts have got decent games that they can go and pick up points now. But that's the next challenge. You need to go and win these games.
Hearts flying high, Roger. Rangers winning games until the weekend had kind of played their way back into the conversation as far as the title went, at least. It was a weekend that kind of promised so much if they got a win. Instead, they lose the game, now 12 points off the pace and in fourth position in the league, first league defeat for Danny Rohl. Is any conversation about the title for Rangers now over after that?
Yeah, I was never really buying into Rangers being in a title race anyway. They haven't won a big game yet under Danny Rohl. Lost the semi-final, haven't won a European game under him, and now go to Tynecastle and lose, and deservedly lose. So until Danny Rohl's Rangers get to a stage where they can win games that matter, and that's no disrespect to winning at Dundee or winning at Kilmarnock, you still need to do that, of course you do. But if they were ever going to be in any discussion, they need to beat Hearts, and they need to go to Celtic Park in the new year and get something. And at the minute, they would think they're going to get something in these games. The level of performance needs to be far higher than it is. And you look at the team yesterday, it's the key players. Jack Butler, and that's a terrible goal to lose. And there'll be a conversation among some Rangers fans about whether Liam Kelly is due a shot there. Nico Raskin, where is he in games like this? Again, another big fixture for Rangers, and he doesn't turn up. And you can go through a lot of the key players. Tavernier now substituted again yesterday. He's becoming not quite, your captain's not a peripheral figure, but you know what I mean? He's not wielding the influence that he once did. Diamandi's not wielding the influence that some people will tell you he can. And, even yesterday, Moore and Miovski had looked okay up until yesterday, but no. And, Danny Rohl won't get anywhere with this team unless his key men perform, and they didn't yesterday.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything Roger's saying there. I think from Rangers' point of view, you look at, Roger, you've obviously seen Rangers a lot more than me going way back, and that's not laughing at a joke, but can you remember a Rangers team that's got a lack of creativity like this one? I mean, I can. I mean, they don't even have Mikey Moore's been moved in the pitch. He's done well. I said that. I think he's been the only. Mikey Moore, for me, Rangers are an injury away from Mikey Moore from total collapse. There's nothing there to create opportunities. They look like a bang average team that play for corner kicks, that play for set plays, that play for long throw-ins. There is no creativity in the Rangers team right now. I think when you look at the back three, when it's set up, fine, fair enough. If you've got two players in the wide areas, but Max Aarons and Jaden Magoba, it ends up just becoming a back five because they don't get forward. You've touched on it there, Roger. I thought the midfield three yesterday, for the opening 10, 15 minutes, they were fine. They got on it. They made things, little passes, moved about. After that, when you're saying, right, the engine room, that's where the game's won and lost. You've got to get in your tackles. You've got to get up in the ball. I didn't see it from Diamandi. I didn't see it from Raskin. I didn't see it from Barron. And Rangers, I mean, you've got to say, I thought Hearts bullied them in the end up. They looked far more stronger. And that shouldn't be the case. I think when you look at, we've said it, and we're fed up repeating ourselves, Rangers recruitment in the summer was diabolical. There is no getting away from it. But right now, there is absolutely, I mean, Gassama came on, and whether he was good or bad, it's hard to tell, because what he did was he got on the ball and he went for it. He took it for a run and maybe got a ball in the box, and everybody, folk would have been looking at saying, "Oh, Gassama's doing well." But when he started, he's hardly produced either in recent weeks. So, I think when you look at Rangers' results, Roger's spot on. The teams that have played against, they would be expecting to beat, and I include Hibs in that, because every time Hibs go to Ibrox or even at Easter Road, they fold. That's just what Hibs do. So I think that Danny Rohl has got a lot of hard work ahead of him. January's huge. Listen, I said it before, and people might look and think, "Oh, here we go again." Rangers get 75 points last season, 75, and everybody tells me that this team is worse than last year's. 75 points, even in this league this year, where it is not at the level that we've seen in previous years, is not getting you anywhere near a league title. It's not. It's impossible. They're 12 points behind Hearts right now, a game in hand. And it's not as if we're saying they're 12 points behind, but Rangers are a better team. They could go on a run. I would back Hearts to win more games between now and the end of the season what I would Rangers.
100%. And it just shows you how long it's going to take to repair the damage that was done under Kevin Kettlewell and Russell Martin, because the signings are utterly appalling. The squad is utterly appalling. It's as bad a Rangers squad as I can remember. You looked at the two benches yesterday, you would have had a Hearts bench all day long ahead of what Rangers were putting on. Rangers sent on Danilo. He might not score again, Danilo. Fellow Asgard and his haircut. I mean, whoever sanctioned that deal, it's absolutely ridiculous. People complain about Kieran Dowell. Kieran Dowell came in a Bosman, didn't cost any money. Asgard's contributed even less than Kieran Dowell's contributed in his time at Rangers. It's incredible to think that's even possible.
Well, I said yesterday, there was 4 or 5 Hearts players in that starting lineup at Rangers. I got it wrong. I think right now, as it stands right now, every single Hearts player would get in that Hearts team, in that Rangers team. I really do. I mean, you look at it yesterday. Look, that's not to say that Rangers have, on their day, got better players than what Hearts have got right now. But as you take it right now and look at it, I would have every single Hearts player. And I bet you the majority of Rangers fans going to Ibrox on Saturday against Motherwell would rather have that Hearts team playing against Motherwell than what they would that Rangers team. There's no fight. There's nothing in it. And I tell you what, Rangers are in you look at Motherwell, again, a team that gets the ball down, plays, creates opportunities. It's going to be another difficult game for them on Saturday as well.
Motherwell, St Mirren, Celtic, then Aberdeen twice across the next couple of weeks for Rangers. That's going to be a big run of games, isn't it?
I don't think the where Rangers are just now, Jonathan, you can't even start, and I know we do it, you can't start to look at that. I wouldn't look any further than Motherwell at Ibrox on Saturday. Motherwell haven't lost a goal in nearly 600 minutes of football. Yeah. They're playing some great, my Motherwell supporting pals say they love it, watching the way they're playing football. They're doing everything that Rangers aren't doing at the minute. They started
on a shoestring budget.
On a shoestring budget. They started the season by getting a point off Russell Martin late in the game, if you remember, at Fir Park. They've won at Ibrox in the recent seasons. They will come brimming with belief that they can show why they're above Rangers in the table. They want to extend their lead over Rangers in the table. I don't think Rangers can look beyond Saturday, because if Rangers perform the way they performed at Tynecastle, they'll lose to Motherwell.
Big game indeed. Now, a man that certainly needed a win at the weekend was the new Celtic manager, Wilfried Nancy. He finally got that win. Celtic beating Aberdeen 3-1 at Celtic Park. 2 late goals in that one. Just how much did he need to get this win over the line, pure and simply, this weekend?
Oh, well, listen, if he'd lost yesterday, he might not still be here as we're having this conversation this morning. It looks dramatic when you see the times of the goals. Kieran Tierney, 88, James Forrest, 92. It looks dramatic. Celtic bossed the game from start to finish. I think they had 31 shots.
31 shots,
Hit the woodwork 4 times. It was over 70% possession. It would have been a feat of grand larceny had Aberdeen get away with a point when Kenan Balilovic came off the bench and scored. And you could sense the relief around the place when Tierney and Forrest did score.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I touched on it there with Celtic. Their XG is the exact same as what it's been. You've got to look at these things, and a manager, I'm sure they believe in, listen, we're creating opportunities, we're getting the chances there, but we're just not killing them off. I would say Celtic, are a number 9 away from actually being what they've been in recent seasons. Yes, defensively they look a little bit vulnerable, but they're still creating opportunities. We touched on it last week in this show with Benjamin Nygren. Can you get him on the pitch? Listen, he might not be everyone's favourite. He might lose the ball a few times, but there's one thing, and he's shown already, Roger. He can score goals. He knows his timing of the run into the box is really, really, really good. tidy enough finish from him yesterday as well. And there was a period of time there where you're speaking about the amount of shots Celtic had. He had that himself within about a 2-week period. It was incredible. When you look at Celtic right now, I feel as if they are a striker away from returning to the levels that they've been at, because they are still creating opportunities. Daisen Maeda, he's a total different player when he plays, on the left or than what he is through the middle. But you just look at Celtic yesterday. Again, they were comfortable. Should have been out of sight. Then they're asked, can you get in that big moment? Can you find something? Can you get? I mean, it's terrible defending from Aberdeen. Kieran Tierney won't care. He gets himself into the back post, gets in the back of net. Celtic get 3 points, and it was a huge, huge 3 points for them, because there's no doubt, Roger, I'm sure a lot of people within the stands at Celtic Park, I mean, you were there covering it, I'm sure a lot of people within the stands would have been ready just to go on Wilfred Nancy's back again, but he's managed to silence them for a week at least.
Yeah, and listen, they go to Livingston next, I think, Saturday afternoon. You would expect them, the way Livier are going at the minute without a win since the 9th of August, you would expect Celtic to go there and win. But then again, they're at Motherwell and they've got Rangers. So, it's a terrific time of the season. I do think, as we said earlier on about Hearts fixtures, I actually think that once Hearts get Hibs out the way on the 27th, I do think Hearts have a better run of games than Celtic, even including that meeting in January at Tynecastle.
Yeah, as you say, you look at Hearts, that Dundee United drop points, Kilmarnock drop points, Motherwell, St Mirren, those were the games that they dropped points the last time. I don't think it'll happen again. I really don't think it'll happen.
So you look Easter Road.
Sorry,
they win at Easter Road.
It's a difficult game, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I just feel as if Hearts are, and I don't want to sound they're not carrying a lot of luck, but there's a lot of stuff going for them. There's a lot of stuff. They're making a lot of things happen. They're getting it in the box. They're asking teams to defend. I'm not sure Hibs will be able to cope with them either. But it's a derby. You just never know. But if you're giving me a free bet right now, Roger Hannah, it would be going on Hearts. There you go. It would be going on Hearts.
Yeah, I'm response.
Anyway, I tell you, just before I go, at the bottom of the table, the three teams need to be careful as well, though, because they're now starting to get detached. That game, is it the 30th? That Dundee Motherwell game, Dundee Kilmarnock game is now huge. Huge. Kilmarnock.
Certain times at Kelly, isn't it, Boyd? That the scenes after the game on Saturday involving Dom Thompson.
I didn't like it. We don't know exactly the background. We don't know exactly what went on. Yeah. But, I said it after the Rangers game. I could just feel as if, the Kilmarnock fans were starting to get frustrated. I've been there before. They want the best of their team. The players are going on the pitch. They want to do their best. It's a difficult, it's difficult to play. Sorry, it's difficult to deal with the criticism when you're not playing well. You can hear it, but you can't have it both ways. Getting praised when you're doing well, then you've got to deal with it. You can't be going, Thompson, I don't know what he's doing. Don't get involved. You're never going to win. You're never going to win when you go and take on fans, because, you have to go out there the next week, whether it's good or bad. They're still going, you were shouting at us last week. They're never going to turn around and say, he done really well because he was having a go at us last week. Go on the pitch, do your best, and see where that takes you. Don't get involved with the fans, and that's exactly what he done. But take that. It's another disappointing performance for Kilmarnock at home, Roger.
What did he need, Boy? Did he need experience in there now, or what type of manager? Yeah.
Well, I think Stephen A. Smith's name's doing the rounds again as well. I personally, I've not spoken to him. I don't think Stephen A. Smith will take the Kilmarnock job. I think he's Scotland going to a World Cup.
Yeah.
Scotland going to a World Cup. I don't see that being the case. Listen, you never know. I know he's got a burning desire to get back into management, but I think the time's got to be right. Maybe looking at it now, the Kilmarnock job in the summer, replacing Derek McInnes, where a lot of Kilmarnock fans thought that it was time for Derek to go. They wanted a fresh ideas. But replacing Derek McInnes at Kilmarnock was never going to be easy. Never. I think Stuart Kettlewell's found that. They got off to a really good start. They've got on a run of results now where they're really, really, really struggling. But they need someone to come in who's going to give them a lift. I thought, Kris Boyd changed the formation at the weekend, tried to get a little bit more, attacking, obviously with the 4 defenders, but trying to get more bodies forward. But again, you look at Kilmarnock, because of their home form over the years has been really good. It's not anywhere near the level it should be. I mean, only Livingston have picked up less points than them at home. And I think, by the way, I might be wrong here, but they might have played 3 or 4 games more at home than Livingston and are only 1 point better off. It's a worry, it's a concern, because that was a fortress for Kilmarnock. Doesn't seem to be. They'll need to. I think they'll wait till after Christmas and New Year to get a manager in now, Roger. I think Chris Doolan, even when he spoke at the weekend, seemed as if he knew he was going to get the next few games. But there's one thing: Kilmarnock need to start getting results, because there is, Livingston, Dundee, and Kilmarnock. They're now detached to that bottom of the table. And that game, where's Kilmarnock? St Mirren at the weekend. Dundee, Falkirk. Dundee, Falkirk. What else we got there? Dundee, Falkirk. Livingston, Celtic. And then the following week, it's Dundee versus Kilmarnock. It's a huge game. So, listen.
My take, they went too early. They sacked Kettlewell too early. I know it was a run of results. They lost their nerve. You shouldn't sack a manager unless you've got a contingency plan. And it's becoming clear they didn't have a contingency plan. I'm not saying Stuart Kettlewell would have saved them, would have done this, would have done that. I think they've gone too early. I think if they don't have a replacement, they should have let them get through this busy, festive period, given them a chance to turn it around with more attractive fixtures that you're just mentioning there, Boyd. I think they've gone too early.
I hear you. It's hard to put up an argument for that as well. You can think about, I think when you're a Kilmarnock fan, you're watching it week in, week out. I think it was 2 points from 30. You could maybe then argue, right, okay, where is this going to turn? You could see Stuart Kettlewell's frustration in the sideline. Yes, referees' decisions went against them, but you could just tell there was. I said that after the Rangers game, there was just that vibe at Rugby Park that I've seen, and I've heard, I've seen. You could just smell it, that there was something there that told me the end was coming, because I've seen it with that many managers. I've seen it. I've been there. I could just feel in the stadium, and that was the case. Listen, whatever happens is Kilmarnock. In the next few weeks, I've got an opportunity to get points on the board, and they're going to have to.
You
Just the
don't
last
fancy
one
it, do
before
you?
Christmas.
It is indeed, yeah. I was going to say, hope Santa's good to
Well,
you.
I'll see you after Christmas. I'll be 2 stone heavier. However, that'll be me. That'll be me.
You
The same weight, Roger. Right, I'll love you and leave you on that.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. Have a good one. Bye-bye.